I want to scream out loud that if Putin was dead, the world would be a better place. There are no questions now if I should spend time on this or on that. The world hears you, and I'm not afraid to say this. Hi guys, I'm Katya. I'm Ukrainian refugee, and I would love to share with you 20 things that I realized in 20 days of war in Ukraine. I hope this video just gives you better understanding of what's really going on. Number 1. You will never know the real way things are going, because you see it only from your perspective. You only know your own truth. I was born in Ukraine, and my whole life I was taught at school that our independence was, is, and will be the most important thing for us. That millions of people, millions of our heroes were dying, were imprisoned, killed terribly because they fought for our freedom. That's my history. There is a guy in Moscow. He is bald and his name is Putin. When he grew up, he was taught that Ukraine was created by Russia, that Ukraine was always the part of Russia, and that it never had the right to be independent. He grew up in the environment where he was taught this. It all ended up in the story that we're having now, because a person has his own truth that differs from reality, unfortunately. After all these things started happening, I just started really questioning everything that I ever believed in. Like, is everything really true? Because I consider it to be true. Number 2, even your biggest enemy now can hold a gun and protect your country on border. I have friends, I have good acquaintances, I have people just that I knew for one day, and even people who I had really conflicts with in the past, now just fighting for Ukraine. The only thing that really pops up in your mind is just a big, fat thank you. Number 3, war is uniting people as nothing else. I tend to categorize people sometimes like, old, fashionable moms with kids. Imagine that your whole country, all friends that you ever knew, all teachers, all people that you could ever meet in the street are going through the same shit. If I met someone like from Ukraine, I wouldn't just spell a word because I would understand everything that this person is going through. Your country has one brain. It feels like this, and all people just thinking about all the same. Number 4, politics is really interesting stuff. Before war, I honestly used to be like almost a politic, and sometimes I really felt bad about this. My life consisted of art, butterflies, and flowers. Now, 50% of information that I consume is just all about politics, history. It feels like you're just looking for some facts, for some historical events, just, to figure out when things started going wrong. All your nation is now so interested in politics. Number 5, you never know the stuff that is being planned while you're scrolling TikTok at night. Our government knew that Russia will invade Ukraine in November 2021. Of course, they couldn't share this because that would be so much panic. But imagine just that you are planning to get a dream job, meet your love. You're planning to have a kid. You are buying a new house that you want to spend your rest of life. And imagine someone there in Moscow planning to destroy everything that you have. Number 6, people don't learn from history the way we would love them to learn. I was learning about World War II as the most disastrous thing that ever happened to humankind. It felt like that all history led us to this disaster. A lot of people died, and we had to learn a lesson. Nothing else should ever repeat again. But it's not working like this, as it turns out. These were the most pink glasses that I had to take off. You should always be ready. You should always be alert for a disaster. Even worse disaster than you ever could learn about. Number 7. Universe is not always asking what do you want. We got our independence like yesterday. It was 30 years ago. And in these years we managed to build incredible infrastructure. We have so many talented people. We even made the roads in Ukraine, most everywhere, thanks to our president. Imagine just a guy coming and destroying your beautiful, astonishing, sandy castle. You can't always save what is really important for you, and that's really sad. Number 8, people are super helpful. Like, the first day when the war started, I know that in Poland, people collected trucks with tons of food, medicine, hygiene, just to help us. I'm in Germany now. There were like a bunch of volunteers meeting people at train stations. There are people just looking for flats for other people. There are people just accepting Ukrainian families. There are also people from different countries going in to fight to Ukraine. When you look at such people, you can't just do anything but be the same person. Thank you. Number 9. You may wish death to a person that you never met, and that's okay. If Putin was dead, world would be a better place, and I'm not afraid to say this. Number 10. War shows you who your real friends are. Now I'm physically disconnected to all my friends, all my relatives. You never now question who's really important for you, who you are important to, because right people are calling you, right people are interested in you, right people really take care. War really shows that family is the most important thing that you own, because they're there for you, for your happiness and for your safety, no matter what. Number 11. War reminds you of your values and how to be a good human being. You know this feeling when you watched a good film and you are so enlightened after this, and I think war gives the same effect, but it's a bit more long term. You get used to it. There are no questions now if I should spend time on this or on that. It feels like you have all the most important things on your hands. Number 12. Informational war is equally powerful to the war with weapons. Can you imagine Russians, how many of them are there, believing that Ukraine is full of this Bandera guys, full of these people who humiliate Russian nation? And imagine me living in the center of Ukraine for the last 3 years, seeing the most talented, the most ambitious, the most beautiful, kind-hearted people. We don't give a fuck about Russians. We want to be with Europe. We want to be with the USA. We know what it's like to want to be the best. And Russia is not really a thing we are interested in. But Putin managed to brainwash the minds of millions of people and just made them believe the opposite. Number 13. You have to move on. In days of war, all your attention, all your focus in on one thing. You're checking news, you're checking how your relatives and friends are. All your plans, ambitions, your dreams, they are put aside. Try not to forget what was your dream before this disaster happened. Number 14. It is okay to feel guilty when you are in a safe place. Having this roof above your head and just being in a warm place gives this feeling of guilt, because you know the people are just there literally dying from hydration in the basements. But you have to remember that you are important as well. Your existence, your safety is very important, because it's what we are fighting for. Number 15. World doesn't really care. We got endless support from other countries, but I really see that world is moving on. You know, just open Instagram and you just see people on the beaches just hanging out, continuing their life, and you can't just blame them for this. The war in Ukraine has really a bigger scale, but it still doesn't mean that the world just should stop turning around, and that is okay. Hello, little bird. Wow. It is okay. Number 16. It is okay to be vulnerable during war. You can be irritated by literally everything, by any news. You can just start crying in every moment. In such situations, you just have to stay safe and take really good care of yourself. Number 17. I'm fucking proud to be Ukrainian. I have been living in Ukraine for my whole life. I promise that people in Ukraine are unbelievable. They are just so free. They are so talented. They're so ambitious. And they really know how to dream big, how to be kind-hearted, how to be generous. I never was so glad to be born in the country. I know that Ukraine was meant for me. I know that Ukraine will bloom. I know that Ukraine has a future. I know that we're gonna be among the best. This belief is in our blood. Even if you destroy us, try to kill us, that's something that you can't take from our genes and from our blood. Number 18. Talk to the people as if these people may die tomorrow. You never know what may happen. Be kind and live every day as if it may be your last day. Number 19. Listen to your heart. In this chaos of news, things, events going on, when you don't know what to really believe in, your inner voice is really the only thing that may calm you down. And my inner voice is really the only thing that I will always trust, no matter what. 20. Your voice matters. Your voice matters. Doesn't matter how tiny, miserable your action is. If you make a single impulse to the earth, write something in the media, if you just send $5 to Ukrainian army, if you just scream to the world that the disaster is happening, it all counts. The world hears you and Ukrainians hear you. I'm super grateful to all Europeans, to all people all over the world who are just screaming about this tragedy, about this war, who are helping us. We shouldn't forget that it's happening and we should stop it right away. I know that everything will be good. I know that Ukraine will win. I want you to believe in this as well. This is the thing that I would ask you, to believe in us. I will leave the link for donation to Ukraine in the description below. I'm super grateful to you for watching this video. I hope you got a better understanding of what's going on in my heart and in the hearts of Ukrainians now. See you next videos. Bye.